Okay. So tell me about you. Where were you born?
I was born in my grandmother's house, which was on Lugo Street. You can see it's East LA. It was close by on Soto Street, close to Sears and Roebuck's.
In her house you were born? Was that
A mid-lady or some midwife or something. She delivered me
were
in
brothers and
my
sisters?
grandmother's house.
Were any of your brothers and sisters
No,
born
just
there
me.
too?
No, my brother Cheeky. I don't know where he was born. I don't know if he was born in a home or, probably, but I don't think he was born in a hospital.
So your grandmother on your mom's side or your dad's side?
On my mom's side.
What was her name?
Her name was Bimenia.
Bimenia? Do you remember her last name?
It was Diaz.
Oh, that's right.
Diaz.
Bimenia. I've
Yeah.
never heard that.
That was my mom's dad's mother, which was my mom's grandmother. So
So it was your great grandmother.
it was my great grandmother.
That's interesting. You were born in her house. Was that on accident or was it planned that
They
way?
didn't. In those days, they didn't believe in going to the hospital. They didn't have money to go to the hospitals.
What year was this?
1936 in December the 15th, 1936.
That's right. You're a Sagittarius.
Yeah.
A day before my sister Tina. I forgot that.
Yeah.
So, were there any complications, do you know, with the pregnancy, or was everything...
Not that I know of. I don't even know how much I weighed. I was pretty skinny. I don't know.
Not as skinny as you are now? How many,
So we lived all with my grandpa's mom, which was our great grandma. We all lived there with her.
oh, so you guys lived in that house?
Yeah, but my dad didn't live with us then.
Why is that?
Because my mom first had my brother Cheeky, which was named Joe. She had him and she was supposed to marry this man and he was supposed to take her to Mexico. But the grandma didn't want her to marry him because she didn't want her to go to Mexico. So she didn't let her get married.
How old was she, do you know?
Probably in her 20s, maybe 20, 21, 19, 20, I don't know, around there.
So she wasn't a baby, by
No.
any means.
So anyway, she stuck around there with the grandma and the grandpa and the dad and the mom. Her mom was pregnant. She had her last baby, which was a little girl. And at that time, it was influenza very, very bad that it hit that year. And there was a lot of people dying. You can open that, the curtains so the air can come in. There was a lot of people dying at that time. So when she gave birth to the baby, she got that influenza. And she died. She died a couple of days later. She died, ended up dying.
This was...
My mom's mom.
Okay.
And then the baby ended up dying 2 weeks later from the same thing.
Wow.
So my mom had to stay there and help the grandma take care of the brothers.
Your mom's mom died from influenza? Oh, wow. I thought you were saying that the baby...
No, the baby did after 2 weeks later. The baby just lived 2 weeks and then she died.
Oh, that's horrible.
So my mom had to help the grandma take care of her brothers and her sisters.
How many brothers and sisters were there?
She had, let me see, it was Uncle Johnny, Uncle Michael, and Uncle Nash, and Aunt Selma, and Carmen, and my mom. There were 6 altogether.
Wow.
And it would have been 7 with the baby. So she had to stay. She didn't go to school. You know, they would only let her go to school one day out of the week. So
Do you know where she was in that lineup of all her brothers and sisters? Was she one of the oldest?
it was, she was the second one. It was my Uncle Johnny, and then it was her.
That's why she ended up having to be the caretaker.
Yeah.
Being the oldest daughter.
Yeah. And then it was my brother, my Uncle Michael, and then my Uncle Nash was the last one because Selma and Carmen were before him. He was pretty sure he was, they said that he was so little they had to put him in the shoebox.
Wow. So what happened with Tio Chiqui's father? She had Chiqui,
Yeah, he went to Mexico.
so he left.
Yeah, so I
And
guess
she wasn't able to go with him because her
No.
parents would. That's interesting that he left.
Yeah, well, he met somebody else over there, and then he wound up coming back to the same neighborhood with his wife and a couple of kids years after.
And by then she had met your dad.
Then she knew my dad because they live right next door.
Oh.
And she knew my dad all the time. And I thought, oh, you had a crush on my dad, huh? The little gangster over there with his little hat. And she goes, you're crazy. You're crazy. David would make her blush. And David would tell her, yeah, he had the cigarette out of his mouth and his little cap. And
Yeah, he always had a
yeah,
hat.
gangster type. And you fell in love with him. And she was all red. So anyway, she went out with him and got pregnant from me.
So you're the oldest.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
More
next to
Chiqui,
Chiqui.
besides Chiqui, yeah, but I'm with,
How much older is Chiqui than you? You were born in 1936, so was he just a couple of years older, or
let me see,
maybe more than that?
he would have been, he would have been 82, about 6 years older than me, 5 or 6 years older than me,
So he was somewhere around 1931 or so, maybe.
in the 30s. So anyway,
Theo, do you mind if